much for tuning in. I hope y'all can see me. Someone comment in the chat. Okay, our neighbors just started mowing, so I'm going to have to go inside. Isn't that nice? All right, so this is our first of many team calls. Carly, Pass, and I will be teaming up together. We will do at least one a month. The goal is to do 2 a month, though. Every call is going to be something different. We'll just kind of figure out what the call needs to be over. And when I asked you guys a couple days ago what y'all wanted, you said parties. You needed party help. So I have got the best of the best on this call today. That's what we're going to do for every single call. It won't just be me and Carly. We're going to get ladies, presenters on here who are the best at what they do and what the topic is over. So I'm going to first off introduce Carly Pass. Everyone should know her. I realize some of you may not, but Carly Pass is one of my personally enrolled. She has been with us for exactly a year, and she made Black status last month, which is a huge deal. And so her and I, like I said, are going to be teaming up to do all this. So she's going to talk in just a minute, but I want to quickly just kind of introduce each person who is on the call. So first, we have Jenny. She's drinking her water. She's going to talk about how to get parties. And at any point in time, Jenny has 15 to 20 parties going, so she knows what she's doing, and I'm excited to hear from her. We also have Sarah, who I call our hostess coaching queen. She knows how to talk to the hostess to get them to do what she wants, and she has very, very successful parties. And then we have Cicely. She is famous for her PRS. This girl has well over $6,000 PRS every single month. Last month, I think she ended with 8,600. She does parties right on Facebook, all from home. She has a newborn and still rocks her business, so she's going to talk to us about her 10-day Facebook parties. Kirsten was supposed to be live with us, but she is in the middle of moving, so I have a voice recording from her on one-on-ones. She gets most of her PRS this way, and I'm excited to hear about that. And then last but not least, we have Danielle, who's going to talk to us about vendor events and girls' night. So I'm super excited to hear all of that, and so I'm going to hand it over to Carly, and then we will get started.
All right. Hey, everyone. I won't keep you long because I know that you want to learn about parties and not listen to me. So thank you for being here. I just want you to have your pen and paper ready and encourage you to take notes. And even if your parties are really great, like we all need, new ideas and fresh ideas. But if your parties are not what you want them to be, keep in mind all these different ideas. There's so many different things that we could be doing. So take notes and share with your girls and try, a bunch of different things and find what works for you, but also try to remember to keep your personality and keep what fits for you, because what works for Jenny and Sarah and everybody else might not work exactly the same for you. So just play around with it and try everything out and see, what works for you and your business. So we're going to go ahead and start with Jenny on how to get parties.
Do I start now? Do you want me to start talking now?
Go ahead.
Okay, I couldn't hear. All right, so anytime you guys join a business, we all say the 100 no's, and that can be like super intimidating, but it's what's going to get your business started. So when I first started, I personally reached out I made my list of moms and brides because I figured my whole reason for joining in the beginning was because I just wanted to spoil other moms with makeup, because let's face it, when we're moms, we don't really always tend to ourselves. So I thought, well, let me just go down that angle. And then brides, because I wanted to spoil them with makeup for their big day. So I just went through my friend list and messaged anyone that was a mom or a bride. But rather than just say, like, hey, I joined Unique and will you host a party for me, I started reconnecting with the relationships. So if they're a new mom, I talked about, what it's like to be a new mom and their babies, and just reconnected and reformed a relationship that we might have distanced over the time. And eventually they said, oh, what's new with you? Like, how are your kids? And then I kind of introduced Unique that way, and just really just started trying to find parties that way. I had a lot of no thank yous, but I only needed those couple yeses. And then with those couple yeses, I just met new people, and the pattern just continues and continues and repeats itself. Whenever you do have a party, I make sure to make that party engaging and get lots of participation. And we'll go over that more later on with the next person. But just really try to get as much participation in the party as possible, because those participants are going to be the ones that you're going to reach out to next. So as you're having your party and, you know, playing games and whatnot, I'm making lists of everybody who's participating. Are they liking the comments? Are they commenting on the pictures? Are they asking questions? I want to get to know them. I want to form relationships. I feel like this is all about relationships, not about selling makeup. So I'm writing down my list. You know, so-and-so says they like mascara. So-and-so says they like lipstick, lip gloss, whatever. And I'm building relationships with them. So that way, when the party's over, I'm messaging those people and I'm saying, you know, hey, you really commented a lot that you like the lip glosses and lip stains. You know, why don't we throw you a party and get you them for free and try to get you them for free? And so when a party's over, you know, that I end my parties on Sundays. That Monday, I'm messaging everyone, and it's a generic message of, you know, just kind of like, hey, thanks so much for participating in the party. I had a lot of fun getting to know you. Would you be interested in hosting a party of your own? I'd love to get you some free makeups and spoil you. I would say out of those times, you know, I only get like maybe 3 to 5, but those 3 to 5 add on to the ones I already have going. And then no response to a message does not mean no. So if you message someone and they don't respond, it does not mean that they don't want to have a party. They could be at work, glance at it, and forget to respond to it. So I always say, you know, follow up in a week or so, like, and say it again, you know, hey, thanks for partying with me. I had a lot of fun with you. Did you give any thought to possibly having a party? And until they say no, I follow up every couple weeks. In the meantime, I'm hopefully friends with them because I built that relationship with them through the party. So hopefully they accepted my friend request and are paying attention to my posts. And that branding is a whole nother topic, but I feel like it's really important to brand yourself and to build relationships with yourself, and constantly add to your 100 no's. If you're having parties and you're building relationships, then you should be adding those people to your 100 no's. And I still, you know, and while I'm branding myself, I'm still trying to reconnect. We all have friends from high school that we lose touch with because life takes over. So with those people, you know, just reach out to them here and there and say, you know, hey, I saw you went on vacation. How's life? And just really try to focus on relationship building, because they're going to say, hey, I saw you started a new business. Tell me about it. And then you can get parties that way as well. One of the things I was going to say is it's really, I've not found that it's successful to just post those little blurbs on your page that say, you know, who wants free makeup? I'm looking for a hostess. If you want to do something like that, be creative with it. Like Carly the other day put a nice little dinner plate with makeup on it and said, what's for dessert makeup, you know, and she was able to get 4 parties out of that, because that to me is like, you know, you're just being creative with your Facebook posts. Just try not to post, you know, once a week, I'm looking for my next hostesses. And if you are, then say things like, I have a few spots left for September, who wants a spot? But just try to be personable and build relationships. That's really the key to getting these parties. And when you're having the parties, just really building the relationships in them. And a lot of times people are going to reach out to you and say, hey, that was a lot of fun. Can I have a party too? And I think that's really it that I have to say. Hello?
Thanks, Jenny. Sorry, it took me a minute to get to my unmute button. Thank you so much. That was great. Okay, so next is going to be Sarah.
Hey, everyone. So I'm here to talk to you about hostess coaching. For those of you, so a lot of times, sorry, I'm going to back up here. A lot of times our hostesses don't really know what it is that is expected of them, and by expected I don't mean that in a negative way, just they have to know that they have a job in their party as well. So it can't just be one of the things that I know I was guilty of in the beginning was saying, you get your hostess, and one of the things that you tell her is, you don't really have to do anything. I do most of the work. Well, that's not true. So you need your hostess to do so much. She plays a vital, vital role in the success of your parties. And one of the ways, there's several ways. I'm going to talk to you about a couple of them. What I have done that has worked really well for me. One of the things that I do is I schedule my parties and I plan my parties. And I know that everybody kind of has a different way of doing this. You'll see Jenny said she always ends her parties on Sundays. I believe Cecily always starts her parties on Sundays. I like to schedule mine on certain dates, but however works for your life is what's going to work best, for you and for the flow of your parties. So I would strongly urge you to schedule and plan your parties. Please plan your parties. And what helps is that your hostess is clued into that plan so that she knows what's going on. She should know what to expect from the party. She should know what she needs to be doing. She should know, sort of how the flow is going to go, because otherwise she can be a little bit lost. And if she's lost or overwhelmed, she's going to kind of shut down, and you need her to be active. So a couple of the ways that I get my hostesses to stay involved, even if the party sales are not great for the first few days, is I call them on the phone, or we get on Skype or FaceTime or whatever, and we talk on the phone. And it only takes about 10 minutes to really run down the whole party. But when you get them on the phone, it just makes it a little more personal. And I've definitely noticed way better success in my parties when I've spoken to the hostess on the phone versus when I've sent them like this long message that they have to read through and kind of weed through, because a lot of times they don't do that. So it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of their time, and it could make or break your party. So what I'm a big fan of is getting my hostess on the phone, and when you talk with her, sort of communicate to her, all right, we're going to start your party on this day. I'm going to be posting, 4 or 5 times a day in the party. This is the kind of stuff I'm going to be posting. It's really important that you are involved, that you're commenting, that you're tagging your friends who might be interested, and not in a spammy way. Don't let your hostess tag, 50 people in one post. Have them tag the people that they might be interested in that specific product, stuff like that. So you want them to know sort of how to do that. So I really like to get them on the phone. I like to find out if they've looked at my website. If they haven't, I send them my website, and I'm like, hey, what products interest you the most? And which products do you think your friends are going to be the most interested in? Because not everybody's going to want just the mascara. A lot of people are going to want the BB cream. I sell a ton of BB cream because, I make a point to getting to know my hostess and getting to know her guests. Just like Jenny was saying, and I'm sure the other girls are going to say similar things, it's really about building the relationships and making the connections. So when you get on the phone with your hostess, you're starting that relationship and you're starting to build it. And it doesn't matter if she's somebody you met in another party, someone you met out and about, or if she's been a longtime friend, she's going to appreciate the fact that you took 10 or 15 minutes to talk to her about the flow of the party. So I'm a big fan of getting your hostess on the phone. Like I said, plan the party, set a goal, find out what it is that you and your hostess both want out of the party. I sort of do a flat goal for all my parties of $5,000. I wish, $500. So I want every single party to have that as a goal. Some parties go way over that, and some parties don't hit it at all, but at least no matter what, there's always something that your hostess is working towards. And this kind of does two things. So a couple of days into the party, and once you've taken the time to really coach your hostess and she knows what her role in this is, a couple days into the party, you can you can message her and you can be like, hey, you're so good at this. Have you ever thought about joining Unique? 9 times out of 10, she's going to tell you no, she's not interested, or she's thought about it, but it's not really right for her and she doesn't like to sell. And that's fine. Very rarely do they join 3 days into the party. It does happen, but they don't always do it. But a couple days later, after that party's really rocking because she knows what's expected of her and she's got a goal that she's working towards, you can ask her again. And you don't even have to ask her this time. You just be like, girl, you are so good at this. I mean, I'm okay with continuing to make all the money, but You should be making it too. And then she's starting to think about it, and eventually she will, 90% of the time or so, Micah could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but they eventually almost always end up joining. So, but part of the reason that they did that is because you took the time to build the relationship, like by talking to them on the phone. That's huge. That's so big. That piece will change your hostess involvement in her parties. So you want to make sure to communicate the goals of the party. You want to make sure, like I said, to explain the process. You want to make sure, no matter what, that she is sending a personal invite to every single person who she adds to the group or event. There is no reason to mass add 500 people to an event and not send out personal messages. If you're doing your parties and events, or if you're doing your parties and groups, sending a personal message goes a really long way. It's actually against Facebook's terms of service to mass add people to a group with the intention of selling to them. So I was just added to another party recently, not a unique party, but I was just added along with like 300 other people to this party, this group. And there was no explanation for why we were there. I was not sent a private message. I had to figure it out. And that's kind of irritating. I mean, and if you're a guest, you don't want to be irritated by somebody's party. You want to be excited about it, right? And if you're a hostess or if you're a presenter, you want your guests to actually want to be there. And the best way to do that is through private messaging. So I make my hostesses private message every single person that they're going to invite to the party. And I recommend keeping it to like 40 to 60 people. 50 people is kind of the sweet spot for, at least for group parties. Events, I think you can get away with having more people invited. But for groups, they really need to be sending private messages, and then they need to make sure not to add people who don't want to be there, because you don't want party guests who aren't happy to be there. But if your hostess just takes the time to send out private messages, and this is much better received when you're actually telling her over the phone versus if you send her, like I said, this big long script, she's not going to read it. She's just going to mass add people most likely because it's easier. And that's not what you want, because you don't want people to get mad that they're in a party that they have no desire to be in. So make your hostess send messages, and don't be ugly about it. Just tell her, hey girl, it's Facebook is weird, and we just want to make sure that everybody who's in the party actually wants to be in the party. So you can give her like a little scripted message, really simple, really laid back, doesn't have to be personal. Just have her send it to her friends. She can copy and paste it and just change, the name or whatever. That way her friends feel a little bit more handpicked instead of mass added. If I am added to a party where there's 300 other people, I'm not going to participate because they're not going to notice that I'm there. If I'm added to a party that has 35 or 40 people, it's much more likely that I'm going to be involved because I know that they actually want me there and they're not just trying to get my money. So that's something to think about. And then throughout the party, you want to keep her informed. She needs to know how the party is doing. She needs to know who's ordering, what the party totals are at, how far she is from her next goal. You've got to ask her, to get her people involved, get her friends involved, especially if they are not commenting and not participating. Definitely have her send out some private messages, and don't be afraid to send them out yourself. But really, your hostess should be doing a lot of the work. And that goes back into, a couple days in, you're going to talk to her about joining Unique, because if she's doing all of these things, chances are her party's got a pretty good participation and a pretty good return on it. So that's really, it sounds a lot more complicated when you're reading it all, but it's really pretty basic. Build the relationship with your hostess, talk with her throughout the party, get her on the phone, get her on Skype, FaceTime, whatever it takes. Set some time aside to make her feel important, and she's going to be more likely to give that return back into her party. So I believe Cecily is going next, if I'm not mistaken. So I will turn it over to her.
I'm going to add something in real quick. Something, I can't remember where I heard this, but it kind of always stuck with me. The online Facebook parties, you almost want to treat like a home party. If you're not going to invite 500 people to your home party, it's not going to do that. That's not realistic. You're going to invite a small group, and guess what? You're going to send them each an invitation. That's not just a Facebook, I added you to a group. It's a personal invitation. Then when they join your party, you're going to open up the door. You're going to welcome them. So remember that in your Facebook parties. You want to make it personable. You're not just piling everyone in a Facebook group and just throwing pictures at them. You're talking to every single person who joins. You're finding out, have they tried the mascara? Have they tried any of the products? Like Jenny was saying, build those relationships. Talk to everyone in your party. And Cicely is really going to hit home on this because this is where she really excels and does such a great job. But thank you so much, Sarah. That was great.
Okay, I had to unmute my computer. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to cram 10 days worth of what I do into a short time, but okay, basically with my parties, I have 3 general rules that I go by. You need to plan your party, like Sarah was saying. It's very, very important. Organize your party and educate, which that's what Sarah just talked about, is educating your hostess. Okay, so as far as planning, what I mean by that is, if you get a yes, like you're messaging people and you get somebody respond and they say, yes, I want to do it, or maybe somebody even asks you to host a party. I know it's exciting and we want to jump on it right away, but do not go create a link at midnight because you got a response, or set up a group at 10 o'clock at night. Just wait, plan it out, talk to your hostess, find out what day would be good for her. I usually suggest Sundays. It's just the day that works for me. I set some up this past Wednesday. That's out of the norm for me. But Sundays are usually a good day just because everybody's home and usually just sitting around. So that's usually a good day for me. So I'll usually suggest that, and that's what I usually stick with. Now, as far as organizing, this is the part that just drives me nuts with so many people. I've seen it where you just don't make it a mess. Don't go crazy. Just be organized. And I'm hoping by what I'm about to explain to you, it'll kind of help with that. But it does work. It does help if you're more organized. So, like I said, I set mine up on Sundays. I usually try to do it between 4 and 5. That way, like if the hostess is busy at that time, she still has time to hopefully get everybody added between 8 and 9, because like I said, I don't like to be doing it late at night and then everybody wake up in the morning and be bombarded with a bunch of stuff. So that's the way I like to do it. I always give my hostess a heads up. So I'll send her a message and let her know, hey, I'm about to set up your group, get things going. I'll let you know whenever I'm done. So get in there, create the group. I post a welcome note from me, just a little short welcome note. Hey, everybody, post one of those little fabulash party start tomorrow thing. And then I post a welcome video. I know that we've been talking a lot about videos lately. It works. There's a reason why we've been talking about it. It works. So just a short, very short, like 1 to 2 minutes long video. Introduce yourself. Maybe even say a few of your favorite items. And when I mean a few, I mean like 2 or 3. Don't go through like 12 different products. Nobody has time for that right now. So just, 1 to 2 minutes. Tell them who you are. Make it short and sweet. Then I post a demo video. Right there in the beginning, before the hostess adds anybody, while it's still just me and her in the group. Post your demo video. Again, get comfortable with these videos because it needs to happen, guys. So your demo video, this helps because everybody gets in the group. If your hostess hasn't sent out private messages, which she needs to, then they're probably wondering what this is about. That demo video will kind of tell them right there what it is. Make your demo video short for this one, like 3 to 5 minutes. Nothing long because I don't have time for that right now. Already have one I done usually, so that way it's just real quick. Let me see. Oh, a side note. Always add a caption with your post in your parties. It irritates the crap out of me whenever I see people making posts in parties, whether it's unique party or not. Like if I'm added to a Scentsy party or something, don't just post a picture and don't just post a video. You need to say something with it. Something. Like, for example, whenever I post my demo video, I'll say, have you seen how this amazing mascara works? If not, check out this video. Short and sweet, check it out. Something like that. Just letting them know, okay, well, what is this, you know? Make it exciting. After my demo video, I'll post some Q&A, what we all get asked a zillion trillion times in our parties, like how much is shipping, is there more than mascara, where do I order, blah, 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 when does the party end, all that stuff. Short Q&A right there in the beginning. You're still going to get asked 100 times, I'm sure, but just right there, so hopefully it'll take away some of the confusion. Then I have my hostess post her welcome. If she has a selfie ready to go with her mascara on, I'll have her post that with it, or I'll send her a little welcome picture that I make or something like that. Roll call is another thing that seems to help in the beginning. Sometimes you get a big, huge response, and sometimes you get 2 people, but I always do it just in case, because you never know, and it gets them involved right off the bat. You want to engage your guests. You want to get your hostess going right away. So that roll call helps. And I'll just say, like, on the roll call, it's usually one that I make. It'll say, like, roll call, tell me your name and how you know our hostess. Don't ask them a zillion questions, because, again, nobody has time for that right now. Make everything short and sweet in the beginning. Make it all look simple and easy. That's what they want. Okay, now, before you jump in to your parties, you need to ask yourself right up front, and I've told this to my girls before and a few others, you need to ask yourself right there in the beginning, if you were added to this party, or any party for that matter, what would you want to know? What would you want to see, like right there and then? Most of us would probably say, okay, you're added to this group, how much is whatever you're wanting me to buy? Okay, how much is it? What is it? What are the ingredients? Why is it better than what I already have? That's what everybody wants to know. Answer those questions within the first 2 days. Okay, you need to address the important stuff up front. If you drag it out and you're just posting random stuff all over the place with no good direction, you're gonna lose interest. You're gonna lose focus from your guests. So answer the important stuff up front. Okay, now the next day, Monday morning, is when I create my link. The next day, not that night, the next day. Don't waste a whole day. Get people excited that night. Post the roll call. Have your hostess post her selfie. Get people excited to shop in the morning. Do it in the morning. If they say that they want to order that night, they can wait. They're fine. Just tell them it'll be posted in the morning and you're super excited or something. Again, do not waste that day. Okay, so everything's done at night. In the morning, and after you've asked yourself those important questions, I start with a good morning post. My good morning post just consists of general information. Make sure to check back daily. This is what I'm saying in my post. Make sure to check back daily. We'll have chances to win tickets, play some fun games, check out this amazing mascara. And then I'll even say real quickly, it's easy to apply, easy to take off, hypoallergenic, $29, lasts 3 to 4 months. Right there. You've answered several of those questions in your first post, and it's still short and sweet. And then I post my picture, my good one, of my lashes, right there for everybody to see. Use your picture, nobody else's. You need to take a good one, make it really good. Get some natural lighting where they can really see that your eyelashes are up to here and these are over here. They want to see that. Okay, then I have my hostess post a selfie, have her say something with it, whatever, but have her post that, or if she doesn't have a selfie yet, give her a good comparison. Just whatever you can have, whatever you have in your phone, give it to her. Later, that first day, I'll post an easy post, and I've told several of you about this as well. I have it saved in my phone, so it's quick for me to get to. It says easy post, and it just says how easy it is. I mean, price, I'll list the steps, gel, fiber gel, and then, just a few pictures. Later, same day, I'll explain the ticket system. I've talked to several presenters, and they say they don't even use a ticket system. I'm like, well, what are you doing in your parties then if you don't use a ticket system? How do you keep people interested? Because bottom line here is, people, we all want free stuff. We all want to win something. So give them something to work for. Give your guests something to work for. And it's part of being interactive, which this really helps. So I'll explain the ticket system, how they can win them, and I'll also explain the prizes for those tickets if they do win the drawing, so on and so forth. All right, that's done. I'll post another demo later in the day. Space them out so you're not like just back to back to back. Space them out a little bit. But yeah, I'll post another demo video, either another one of mine, not the same one, another one, different one, or just a good one from one of the girls on our team, something like that. Okay, so that's like my general first day. Evening first day, poll. I've also stressed this to a lot of you. Polls are important. You need to do a poll. And it's kind of like with the roll call. You might get a good response, like a zillion people, everybody comments on it, or you might only have 2 or 3, or you may have only 1. But you need to do it. You need to post your poll. You're interacting. You're getting information from them. You can use that poll to reference back to through the entire party and even after the party. So do it. And what I mean by poll, if you don't know, it's a picture that I usually make. We have some in our groups if you need one. But it just says, have you tried this amazing mascara? Yes, or I want to. It's simple. Okay? Post it. Reference back to it. Use it. If you're ending your party and you're like, this person said they wanted to and they haven't ordered, go back to that poll. Don't wait to the end to reference back, but I'm just saying, go back to that poll and message them, comment, tag them, remind them. People get busy, people forget. So reference back to it as much as you can. Day number 2, I'll address the ingredients, because that's another important thing that we said that we want to know. Ingredients. Tell them what's in it. Is it safe for contacts? I get that so many times. Yes, it's okay for contacts, okay? Try it. Get the ingredients out of the way. Okay, so after your important stuff is done, I just kind of go for it. I mean, every party's a little different for me. Depends on my mood. It depends on what I want to talk about that day. But I just kind of go for it. However, you still need to stick to mascara for 3 days. Okay? 3 days. 3 days. Don't go crazy. Like I said, it's part of organizing. And let me explain to you why I stress 3 days. If you go crazy posting in your party, and I know we have a bunch of really great products, and I want to tell everybody about all of them, but with these Facebook groups, sometimes they get notified when you post, sometimes they don't. People pop in and out of these parties. That's part of the convenience of online parties. They can come and go as they please. If you're posting about something different every time that they enter your party, they're going to be so confused. You're going to confuse your poor little guests. So stay organized. Stick to mascara for 3 days. 3 days is a good time frame for everybody to get the gist of what the main product is. After your 3 days, I start introducing 1 new product per day, just 1. But I always go back to mascara. So for example, if I post about the lip stains, later that day I will post about the mascara again, or just something simple. Like, all your posts don't have to be super in detail. You can just post a good picture of your lashes or somebody else's, but it's good to use more selfies than not of yourself. I always reference back to that. So like if I post about lip stain and then later I'll say, post a lash picture, and I'll just say, want to know why I love this mascara so much? That's why. That's actually what I just posted a little bit ago, and I had a selfie of me with one eye done and one eye not. Simple, but it's still, a good post. It tells tells a lot about our mascara whenever one eye's done, one eye's not. But have fun in them. I'll do theme days, mascara Monday, try it Tuesday, wisdom Wednesday, which is where like you just tell a fact or something about the mascara or unique in general. Play interactive games. I have like a huge glare, sorry guys. Play interactive games. Don't just be like a robot and post boring stuff. People want to be entertained. Entertain them. Make them be involved. Ask for their opinions. Ask for, ask them questions. Like, example, if you post about the lip gloss, maybe end it with a question. So you say whatever you want to about our lip gloss, but then say, so many pretty colors, what's your favorite? Mine is whatever. That's participation. That's building relationships too. I mean, that's how, like the other girl said, that's the people that you're going to go back to. Those are the people that are going to be your future hostesses. So involve them and interact with them. Limit your picture upload. That's another tip I've got for you. Limit it, people. Like I said, so many great products, but don't overload them. Okay? Don't overload them. If they see that you posted 17 pictures with one post, they're going to ignore it. And then that's too many pictures for one to stand out, and you want to stand out. That's what you're aiming for. So I say 1 to 4. 1 to 4, 4 at the most. I know it's so hard, but just pick your favorites and post them. But only 4 favorites at the most. Okay? That's just my advice there. My biggest tip to kind of wrap this up is just be yourself. You have to be you. I could sit here and tell you word for word what I post in my parties, but that's me. It's not you. You have to be you. We have tons of pictures available in our groups and stuff that you can use, but maybe you could get creative and download an app, which we all use on our phones, and make your own pictures. I did a bunch the other day. I just took a bunch of selfies of myself and then went into my photo editor and made them say stuff in like random party posts that I can use. So do that. Get creative. Be yourself. Get your guests involved. Like I said, talk to them. Don't be a stranger. It really helps for whenever you're going to get parties. If you've been talking to them throughout the party, then you're not a stranger. When you message them, they're not going to be like, who is this person messaging me? They're going to already know your name, your face, because of how involved you were and how active you were in the party with them. So be yourself. Do videos. It really helps, guys. If you're not comfortable with videos, well, really none of us, I don't like being on camera right now. I mean, just my only advice on that is to do it more and get over it. The more you do it, the easier it'll be to be on camera. So be yourself. Show your personality. Do demo videos, do tutorials, do randoms. Just stand out. Make an impression. Show them that you're just a regular person like them. Give them an experience in your parties. Don't, like I said, don't just be like a robot and posting facts all the time. Be fun, be random, build those relationships, and like I said, don't be a stranger. Those are my major points for you. So hopefully that will help.
Super, super helpful. Thank you. I hope everybody's pins were like going 90 to nothing because, like I said, Cicely has amazing PRS. She always has a ton of parties going. And every time I ask her, because I'm always like, okay, you got to tell me, what are you doing? She just told y'all. She's building relationships, and she's making sure she's interacting with her party guests by asking them questions, not just, like I said, throwing pictures at them. She's getting them involved. She's being herself. She's doing videos. And the thing is, anybody can do that. Okay, so next was supposed to be Kirsten. She can't be here with us live, but she did a recording for us on one-on-one, so I'm going to play that now.
And one of my favorite parts of the Unique business. Hey guys, I'm Kirsten Carr. I'm a Purple Status presenter, and one of my favorite parts of the Unique business is doing one-on-ones. So one-on-ones are basically a home party, but on a really small scale where it's just you and one customer. A lot of people are skeptical when it comes to makeup online, so for your local audience, it's a great opportunity to broaden your business by letting them check everything out in person. When it comes to location, if there's somebody that I know personally and they're friends of mine, I always ask them, do you want to come over here? You want me to come over there? If it's a new contact that you don't know, I would suggest a restaurant or a coffee place where you feel comfortable and you can kind of spread out and sit around for a little while and talk. So what to bring with you? Number one, don't freak out, okay? My very first one-on-one was the very first day I got my presenter's kit. I went to a friend's house, and I had never even put the mascara on before, ever. It was the very first time I did it in front of her. And so if you don't have every item, don't even worry about it. Just pack up your presenter's kit and go. It's not a big deal. I do have one of every item now because I've built so much of my business up around one-on-ones. I've really focused on having the product on hand for them to see. But you really don't have to worry about that. So just bring what you have and do what you can. Like I said, I try to bring at least one of every product, especially things with a lot of colors, like glosses and pigments. I'll try to bring as many colors as I can. For foundation, I do have one of each color, half powder and half cream to color match. I would suggest at least buying one or two so you can test it and you can say, okay, well, I think you're going to be 2 shades lighter or a shade darker than this color. It's a good way to gauge it. I don't ever bring cash and carry. This is just a personal preference of mine because it seems like when you do bring cash and carry, they limit themselves to what you have on hand. And usually one-on-ones end up being like collection orders or over $100 orders. So I don't want to limit them to just the lip glosses and mascara that I have on hand. Unless they specifically tell me ahead of time that they have like an event tomorrow or they need it right away and they can't wait, then I will bring it with me and let them pick from what I have. Biggest, most important thing is always bring your catalogs and business cards. If you don't have these two things, go into your back office and order them. They're so important not only for one-on-ones, but just in-person business. I hand out catalogs at Costco. I mean, they're getting free samples of other stuff. They may as well get a catalog, right? At least bring one catalog for you and one for them. And if you have extra, bring them. Because a lot of times I'll bring catalogs and I'll say, hey, I'm going to give you this one. But if you could give these to your friends too, that would be great. Because then you're expanding your audience. And remember, one person's good experience can turn into 100 people finding out from her. So you want to make sure that you do everything you can to broaden your business, not just with the one person in front of you. And as soon as they realize how awesome you are and how awesome your products are, it's like a good review on Yelp. You know they're going to go crazy and tell everybody about how amazing it was, their experience was. Have them show up fresh face, so no makeup, but have them bring their current makeup. So now you can see their skin tone naturally, and you can easily color match them for foundation products. And you can see from their existing products what colors they use normally, and you can see what's comparable for our products. I did this for a friend who was like die-hard Benefit makeup, and she pulled out her blush that she was like, I love this blush. I don't want to let it go. Guess what? It was exactly the same color as our sweet blush. So she is a full convert now, even the blush that she loves so much. I personally don't do my customers' makeup just because I'm not good at it, and I can barely do my own makeup some days, so I leave that to you guys who are good at that, and if you are, more power to you, and everybody loves getting their makeup done, so if you can do it and you can do it well, do it, but I don't do it. What I do instead is I buy disposable brushes, makeup brushes and containers on Amazon. This way I can make samples for them while we're there, and then they can do their own makeup. And I often go without makeup myself and do it with them so they can see how I put everything on. Because some people, like for foundation, some people use brushes, some people use blending buds, whatever you want. I just show them how I do it, and they can see how it goes on that way, and then they can do it themselves. The one thing I don't sample is mascara. Obviously, this is like a health concern. You can theoretically do it with disposable brushes, but it really is not, it doesn't work as well as you want it to, trust me. So what I do instead is, even if I go with my makeup on, I never ever go to a one-on-one with mascara on, so that I can demo it in front of them. Or I do the one eye and then do the eye in front of them. One of those things, because you want them to see the magic of the mascara happen in front of them, right? I will always suggest colors by looking at their current makeup, like I said, and I always ask them their color preferences, like what eyeshadows do you wear to work, what do you wear when you go out, that kind of stuff. And the biggest thing that I found is asking them about their daily life. Are they somebody who wants to just throw on foundation really quick and mascara and get out the door? Or is it somebody who does the full-on face every single day and won't leave the house without it? You're going to have two completely different products that you suggest to those two different people. So it's super important to me. I found that color is people are really open to color, but you really need to listen when it comes to what they do on a daily basis with their makeup regime. I always practice my setup beforehand. I usually like to be at a kitchen table or a kitchen counter because, I mean, like I said, I have so much product that I want to be able to spread it out, and I want to be able to reach everything, and I'm very meticulous about it, so I always practice ahead of time. I go in the order that I apply my own makeup, so I start with Illuminate, and I end with 3D Plus, and I do everything in between. And I always tell them I do Illuminate night and day. I only do Uplift at night. Like, I give them my preferences, but tell them also, this is how I do it, but you can feel free to do it. And I know people who do it this way, and you just give them all the options that they can have. And like I said, ask them lots and lots of questions. Don't ever tell her what she needs. You just want to figure out what type of product she's going to want and love. You don't want her to spend $100 on stuff she's not going to use, because then she's not going to refer you to her friends, right? It's super important to get to know your customer. This is an idea that I actually got from one of my elites, Misty Johnson. It is genius. She's a genius. And when she told me this, I was like, why did I not think of this a year ago? So when you go to the hairdresser and you get your hair dyed, and they write down what color combos they use to make your hair so that you can go back next time and say, I want the exact same thing. Well, she does that. She makes a card for her customers with all the products and colors that they love, and then makes a copy of it for her own files, so that like when kudos or deals or new products come up, you can go through your files and see who's going to love them easily just by going through the cards. This is so smart, and I'm going to do this for my next one-on-one now that she shared this with me. And last but not least, one-on-ones are a perfect time to bring up becoming a presenter, or even hostessing a party to make her wish list even easier to attain. At the very least, you want to set her up her own party link. You don't even have to tell her about it. Just set it up so that when she orders, she has her own party link. And once she places her order, you want to let her know how close she is to Hostess Rewards. So let's say she buys a collection, it's like $150. I always tell them, hey, you're only $50 from earning Hostess Rewards that could help you get 3.5% off makeup on your next order. And I know how much you love these products. Are you willing to share that link with people or with any of your friends so that they can purchase and you can get those rewards? This is a lot of people I've found when you do one-on-ones, they're the people that don't want to do Facebook parties. They don't want to do an in-home party. They just want you to come over. It's like the old Avon and Mary Kay mindset. They want you to come over. They want to see the products. They want to buy them. But once you tell them, every single time, if I tell them, hey, you're only $50 from rewards, or you're only $100 from rewards, they share that link and they get those orders and they get those rewards. So that's a big thing not to forget about. And that is all I have for today, but please feel free if you have any questions, or if you want to know where I get my sample stuff or anything like that, feel free to add me on Facebook and ask me any questions. Thank you for listening to me. Have a good day.
Awesome. I'm so glad Kirsten shared that. At first we were worried she wouldn't be able to get on. I've not done any one-on-ones, but I'm definitely going to take her notes and put those into practice. All right, so next up we have Danielle.
All right, hi guys. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about doing events. And I'm going to start out with a little bit on vendor events, and then I'm going to finish up talking to you about how I do a girls' night out, which is basically it's like a home party, but I don't like to have people over to my own home, so I actually do it in a restaurant. You could do it in a coffee shop. So I have those two options. The first thing I'm going to talk about is if you do some vendor events. So the first thing is you want to come prepared, and mascara is what's going to sell. Don't overload yourself with a whole bunch of other products. First of all, they just might not sell. You just don't know what's going to be something that somebody wants at an event, and you don't want to end up with a lot of stock. But mascara is definitely going to sell easily. I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it, and I have a really good close rate one-on-one at an event. But you want to make sure that you have enough mascara to make the event worth your time. So don't book an event if you have, sorry, can you guys see me? Okay. Don't book an event if you don't have, okay.
You're good.
All right, good. If you don't have enough mascara, you're not really it's not worth your time to go if you have nothing to sell right then and there, because people go to vendor events, they kind of want that immediate gratification. So make sure you bring enough mascara depending on how many people are supposed to be at the event. And one of the things that I do is I like to save up some Y-Cash, and I like to buy a couple of mascaras at least with Y-Cash, so that when those sell, I get that full cash profit, and that usually covers my table or whatever the cost was to do the event right off the bat. So everything else then is going to be profit. So the biggest thing is that your eyes really matter when you do an event. So I've got mine done exactly how I would do if I was going to an event. And on this eye, I have got Benefit They're Real. But you can see I did one coat. I didn't really do anything, I didn't give it much attention. And then over here I've got the 3D Plus, and you can tell the difference really easily. What you don't want to do is have just a slight difference and then have to explain, oh, I've got two coats over here, or this is just one coat. You just want to make it super simple. You look at this, you look at this, they know they want this. So this is 3 coats of 3D Plus. I know that most of you are like, I don't wear my mascara looking like that. I understand, and your customers probably won't either. But when you're selling at an event, you really want that like wow effect, and this is how you get it. But you don't also want to just throw 3 coats on and go with, clumpy, thick lashes. You have to practice beforehand. So take your time. If it takes you a half an hour of precision work with your lash comb beforehand, it is so worth it, so that you can get that really wow effect when somebody comes up to you. And then the other thing is going to be, you have to perfect your 30-second elevator speech. So this is something that I wrote down, I practiced in the mirror, and I can say it over and over in an event. It just kind of rolls naturally off my tongue, and it's all of the things that Cecily actually talked about of covering in the first few days of a party. It's the same thing. You want to do it in 30 seconds when you meet someone. So when somebody comes up to me at an event, I look at them and I say, hey, have you heard of the 3D Fiber Lash Plus mascara? And whether they say yes or no, the next thing I do is I say, hey, can I just show you this? I want to show you over here I've got Benefit They're Real mascara, and over here I've got the 3D Plus. And then I look up, and then I look down, and then I look at them and I say to them, it's amazing, right? And I nod at them, because human nature, if somebody is nodding at you, you actually start nodding too. And I say to them, it's amazing, right? And they're kind of like, well, yeah, it is. So then I say, it is naturally based, hypoallergenic, it's made in the USA, it is contact lens and sensitive eye safe, and it's water resistant. So you can swim, you can sweat, you can cry, you can get caught in the rain, and you'll be fine. But when you go to take it off at night, it comes off easy peasy with whatever you use to remove your makeup. And so that's what I say to them. It's super easy. Usually by the time I get to the end of that, they're getting their cash or their credit card out, and they're ready to buy. The next thing I do is, just in case they want more information, I have the tubes ready to go in my hands. Usually because they're going to be open the whole time I'm there, I use an old set. So then what I do is if they still look like they need more information from me, I show them and I say, so this is the gel and it looks, it's just like mascara, and these are the fibers. And I tell them these are natural fibers coated in a nourishing serum for your lashes. And so you do gel, and then you do fibers, and then you do gel. And that's it. And that's what I say. And basically at your event, you're going to say that over and over and over again, and then you're going to hand them their mascara, and they're going to be so happy, and they're going to be your new customer. The next thing that I want to tell you about events, though, is that if you do that, you're probably going to sell mascara like crazy, but events are hit or miss. So sometimes you're going to do everything right, and it's just not going to be your day. The customers aren't interested. It's not the right clientele, whatever the case may be. So it is a risk, and I don't want you to ever be discouraged if you go to an event and it doesn't work out in your favor. It's probably not you. And if it is you, then you learn and you improve. I have done events where my mascara didn't look the best, I didn't do as well, and I've certainly learned from then how to perfect that. The other thing is that the fortune in an event is in the follow-up. So you don't want to spend all that time and sell all that mascara and then never hear from that customer again. What you really want to do is turn them into a hostess, a repeat customer, and possibly a presenter. So what I have done is I actually get postcards like from Staples, like a pack that you can print your own stuff on and print them from your own printer. And I put on there I put on my website, I put on a link to my VIP group, and I put a link to my YouTube mascara tutorial. And I use subdomain forwarding so that the links are easy for somebody to type in. So it would just be demo, .daniellethelashlady.com. So they can read it, they can type it in, and it's super easy. And then I put an invitation on there for if they'd like to host a party, and then I offer something special as a special gift for them. So what I'm really, really trying to do is make sure that they connect with me after the event, because otherwise I have a really hard time sometimes. People will put a fake email address for their receipt from the credit card. And even if they give you their name, you may have a hard time tracking them down on Facebook. So what I try to do is make sure that they have a good incentive to reach out and connect with me after the event. Okay, and then for Girls Night Out, what I do is I actually have them at a restaurant locally. I do it at my local Hula Hands because they have a small private room. It only takes 8 people to reserve that room. There's no minimum, and there's no minimum charges. So everybody who comes can order whatever they want off the menu. They're all, they all take care of their own tab. And it's a nice little space. It's perfect to kind of set up in there. It's private, but I really am not on the hook for any type of deposit, or I don't have to guarantee 1 million people show up. It just really works for me. So hopefully with a little research and creativity, you'll find a place where that works for you locally. If you are doing smaller event to start out, you can always just go to your Starbucks and kind of take over a corner. Oh, what did I put on my postcards again? I put my website. I put a link to my VIP group. So it's like for mine, it would be vip.daniellethelashlady.com. And when they click on that, it's forwarded to the link to my VIP group. So then they just need to click on join, and then I can accept them in. And a link to my YouTube mascara tutorial. And I let them know that what those are, because that's something where when they get home, if they're looking at their mascara and they're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, they have that, and they can connect with me that way. So, okay, so for my Girls Night Outs, I actually create an event on my business page so that it is public for the Girls Night Out. I don't really advertise, I don't brand it as a unique event or as a party. It's a Girls Night Out with me. I brand myself. I'm Danielle the Lash Lady, and I kind of make it more about the experience make it more about moms coming out, leaving the kids home that night, getting out with their girlfriends, having a drink, having some food, having some fun, and just playing in my makeup kind of thing. It takes the pressure off. It makes them feel less like they're going to be bombarded with a sales pitch and more like this is going to be a fun time, you know. So what else? Okay, so I bring my cash and carry if I have mascara on hand and if I have a couple of other products, but I don't like to have too much on hand. I like to have them order online. I create a new party link for the girls' night out, and I do a mystery hostess style party with the rewards. So that encourages people to place an order online. But I will also offer, since everybody's local, because we're all, you know, they're all from the area, I will also offer to do a bulk order, and I will put that in at the end of the night of the party. If you have another presenter in the area on your team and they can come and help you out and just be there for moral support, maybe help you demo something, that's a great thing to do. If you don't have somebody else that's a presenter, have a girlfriend who likes makeup. Just come and be there with you. Kind of makes you feel a little bit less nervous, and you know she can demo something too. So if you're not the best at doing contouring, but you have a girlfriend who's great at it, you know, have her show that. And don't be nervous, and don't think that you have to be an expert at makeup in order to do one of these parties, because honestly, your customers are not expecting you to teach them how to, you know, look like Kim Kardashian. They just want to be pretty. They just want to find makeup that works for them. And actually, the more simple and easy that, you know, you make it, the better, because that's relatable and that's something that they want to learn from you. Keep your demo short and sweet. The ladies I've found at my parties, they love to chit chat. They have like super short attention spans. They're not going to sit through like a big whole full face. So it's super easy. You just do a couple of things. They chit chat. One of the things that a lot of times happens at my girls' night out is that they'll start taking selfies, which is great because then I tell them, you know, if you're posting on Facebook, tag me. It's a great branding experience because it puts you out there as an authority figure. It really puts you out there as this, you know, this expert on makeup. Even if you're not a true expert, I mean, you know, you're showing what you can do, and your customers obviously love it. So it's great not only for the sales for that night, but it's building relationships with your local customers, and it's also branding you online, you know, because you're going to advertise this event online. At least I do. And I take that event link from my business page, which is public, and I share it into like mom groups for my local area. And I've actually had people that I was not connected to before come to these events and become a customer, which was really cool. And then again, one other thing I do is same as my events. I have a card. This is a sample of one that I did, and it actually on the inside it has an area for my notes. And I tell them, and I leave them one of these and a pen at everybody's seat. And I tell them that this is just so when I'm going through the products, if they like something, they can write it down and they can remember it, and that it's for them for future use. And this is like their little wish list, and they can keep this. And at the end, when I talk to them before they place their order, I might talk to them about, well, you've got a couple of items here, and so I think you'd really do well with ordering a collection because you would save over buying these products separately. But they don't know that at the time when they're first starting out, when they're writing down their notes. They're just writing down the colors, and I tell them, well, listen, you know, if you don't purchase everything now, you can save it so you know what you want to buy when you make your next order. And again, I write down that there's an incentive for ordering for the mystery hostess drawing. I have a link to my Facebook page and a link to my VIP group, and they can just take this with them when they're done. And I think that is it. I just want to say that I usually bring a couple of products for them to sample to people when they get a chance to touch and see and smell products and see what they're like. They are more apt to buy them. But don't feel like, again, like you have to buy a ton of things to have one of these events. You can start small. You can start with what you have, and just work from there. And honestly, I've had really successful small events where just a couple of girls came and it was a lot of fun and everybody ordered. So, just go with it, have fun with it, and don't be nervous. Step outside your comfort zone. It's a great confidence builder to have a girls' night out. All right, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Hey, Danielle, there's a couple questions over here on the chat bar, and rather than me trying to answer them, I'm going to let you.
Okay.
Someone wanted you to repeat what you said about how you do the demo with your subdomain.
Okay, so if you have, hopefully you have a domain through GoDaddy, and that's just a great tool for branding yourself, and also so that when you have your unique party link, you forward your domain to that party link. What else you can do through GoDaddy is you can do subdomain forwarding, and that would be so for my VIP group, the subdomain would be VIP dot and then my domain name, and that link is going to forward to the Facebook link for my VIP group on Facebook. So rather than tell somebody go to facebook.com/Danielle group whatever blah blah, it's just easy. It's vip.daniellethelashLady.com, or my demo video would be demo.daniellethelashLady.com, and that would be forwarded to the YouTube link for my demo video.
Okay, someone else asked about your girls' night out. Do you just post that on your personal page and target like a group of friends, or do you personal message? How do you go about getting your groups together?
So my first one, what I did is I posted in my VIP group. I have a really big network of local ladies, like local cash and carry customers. I don't know them. I didn't have like a local, like a huge friend base. I actually just networked with them, but I happened to start networking in a local moms group, so I have a big local customer base. In my VIP group, I just asked, hey, if I had like a margaritas and mascara party, would you guys be interested? And there was a big response. So I chose a date, and I started out by inviting only the ladies in my VIP group, but they started inviting friends of their own that weren't in my VIP group. So I switched it to setting up the event on my business page. When you do an event on your business page, it's by default, it's going to be a public event, and then that link is shareable everywhere. So I had ladies that were sharing that invite with all of their friends, and then I shared the link to that event in groups, like a mom's group for my county, and I would say, hey, if you guys are looking for something to do on Thursday night, you want to get out and bring a couple of girlfriends and play with makeup, then here's this event. And so that's kind of how I work it. If you're not comfortable inviting, random people, you can start out simple and small in your VIP group, or you can post on your wall. And Facebook actually has a default group for friends that are local to your area. If they have their location listed, you can actually post just to that specific privacy setting, and you can say, hey ladies, is anybody interested? I'm going to be at Starbucks on Tuesday morning while the kids are in school, and I'm going to bring my makeup kit. Does anybody want to come hang out and play with some makeup and have some lashes and lattes party or whatever, and see what happens. And I see some questions about a subdomain doesn't cost extra. If you have bought your domain, just Google subdomain forwarding on GoDaddy, and you'll see the instructions on how to do it, and it doesn't cost anything extra. Also, what you can do with those is you can also do a subdomain link for all of your party links when you have a bunch of hostesses going, so that it makes that easy and pretty. And what's a mystery hostess? I see. Okay, so a mystery hostess party is when you're the party hostess for your unique party link, okay? So at the end of that 10-day party, you're going to get the hostess rewards. What I do for my girls' night out party is I start the link for that night, and I put everybody's orders through that link. And at the end of the 10 days, I let them know they have the 10 days until the party's over to place their orders. And at the end of those 10 days, I raffle off the hostess rewards. I don't raffle off the half-offs because I hate having them redeemed, but I do raffle off the Y cash. So everybody who ordered basically goes into a raffle, and they have a chance to win that Y cash. And then I would basically let them redeem that by coming back to me and letting me know what they'd like, and then I order it for them using that Y cash. So that's how that works. It's just an incentive to order.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Such great information. All right, I just want to thank everyone who listened to us live. We will have a recording. When I put that on our team page, if you have any additional questions, ask them right there on that post. These ladies, I'm sure, will not mind to make a quick video or to answer any other questions y'all have. Thanks again, everyone who was on the call. Carly Pass, real quick, is going to give y'all a sneak peek of what our next call is going to be about, and then we will wrap things up.
Okay, sorry. I don't know that I didn't see if we picked a date, but the second week of September, we have some ladies on this team who are amazing at makeup. So they are going to do some demo videos for us to show us, or some tutorials to show us how to use the new products and how to market them and how to sell them, so we can all be pros with them. So we're really excited about that. We have some eyebrows and foundation and all the new stuff, so that we can all learn how to use it. Do we pick a date for that, Michael?
I think it's going to be September 7th, but we will let y'all know once it's closer. Like I said, we're going to do these team calls at least once a month. We'll have different ladies on here. It won't just be me and Carly. Like I said, we're going to pick the ladies who excel in the particular topic we're talking about. I don't excel at makeup, so you won't see me. I'll just welcome you all, and that's it. We're going to get these ladies on here who have flawless makeup, who know what they're doing, so they can teach us how to apply the makeup and then how to market those new products to our customers. So once again, thank you all for being on the call. Bye, guys.